Good afternoon and welcome to the Scaringi Law Lunch Break. This is your time of the day to learn a little bit about the law while you enjoy your lunch, and Happy New Year. Do you plan on taking your family to the Universal Studios Orlando Resort this coming summer? Do you plan on riding the Skull Island Reign of Kong ride? Well, prepare for a wild ride, and if you have a heart condition, don't do it. A Guatemalan man, Jose Calderon Arana, was 38 years old when he suffered a fatal heart attack during this ride in December of 2016. The ride uses a mixture of animatronics and 3D technology to simulate a truck expedition through the jungle filled with animals and, of course, dinosaurs and King Kong himself, who fight each other, and they actually kind of rock the simulated truck back and forth so that the guests do receive some jarring back and forth. Now, after the ride, Mr. Arana told his family he didn't feel well and sat down to rest on a bench. His wife thought it was simply an upset stomach. When she and their 8-year-old returned from another ride a short time later, Mr. Arana was laying on the pavement surrounded by Universal Orlando's resort staff. He was taken to a nearby hospital and pronounced dead from a heart attack, multivessel coronary disease, and cardiogenic shock. So naturally, his family sued Universal Orlando Resort. The cause of action, wrongful death and negligence. Now, posted at the ride's entrance is the following warning. Warning. This ride is an expedition through the rough terrain of King Kong's natural habitat. The movement of the truck is dynamic, with sudden accelerations, dramatic tilting, and jarring actions. Now, that message continues on to ward off pregnant women, as well as people with heart, back, neck, or blood pressure issues. Many of the warnings are repeated throughout the line as would-be riders await their turn, and some of those warnings are also accompanied by visual representations. The picture illustrating heart problems shows a figure clutching their hand to their chest. There's also an audio recording that repeats most of the information. Now, however, despite these warnings, the Arana family claims Universal negligently caused Mr. Arana's death because he does not read English and thus didn't understand any of the warnings because they were all posted and recorded in English only. Now, the Aranas family claims Universal had a duty to take reasonable care in controlling and maintaining the premises and to ride and they had a duty to take reasonable measures to prevent reasonably foreseeable danger and warning customers, guests, and visitors about such hazards. They claim Universal is aware of a significant number of guests who don't speak or read English, and so that was a foreseeable danger that those with heart conditions would be injured on the ride because they don't speak English and couldn't read the warnings and thus were getting on the ride. And I just rode the ride at Universal, and it still has not put up warnings in Spanish, which is interesting to me, being that the injury occurred 2 years ago, and they're being sued now for negligently failing to provide warnings in Spanish. Now, to be safe, if I were advising Universal, I would have them post warnings in Spanish as well as all other major languages. And they may need to slow that ride down. Yes, this will take away the fun from the ride. Having to listen to constant warnings in various languages takes away from the sound effects and the other entertainment Universal provides to its guests while they wait in line for the ride. And of course, slowing down or minimizing the shaking and rocking of the simulated ride will make it less thrilling. But we live in a hyper-litigious society today. An amusement park operator should use caution and put up these warnings in all major languages if they want to prevent lawsuits, such as the one being brought by the Aranas family. Now, the lawsuit was filed just a few weeks ago, so I don't have any other developments to report at this time. Universal Orlando Resort has not commented on the lawsuit, but I suspect Universal will settle this one. We shall see. I will try to keep you posted on any major developments to the lawsuit as it progresses through the court system. If you have any questions about entertainment, theme parks, warning signs, negligence, wrongful death actions, feel free to call one of the attorneys at Scaringi Law. We can answer any of your questions that you may have. You can reach us at 717-657-7770 or on our website at scaringilaw.com. Well, that's about all the time we have today for the Scaringi Law Lunch Break. Thanks for listening and enjoy your lunch.